Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic out there. Today's video, we're going to talk about an offering from Thrunite. This is model T3, and this is the cool white edition of that T3. Now, the current retail price at the time of me filming this video for this light is about $65.95. Got a cat here. I don't know what to do with him. He came over and he said hi and he hasn't left. He's happy, I guess. He's a little stinker. So let's go ahead and open the package and see what comes with this light. So you can see there's the light itself, comes packaged very well. You can see the foam there. We're going to find an owner's manual for the T3. We'll find the English and we'll look at the chart with the technical parameters. So feel free to pause your screen if you want to read any of that. I'm going to be talking about all this stuff in the video, so let's take a look here. We have a little package here. There is a replacement tail cap O-ring, there's a lanyard, and there is a charge port cover replacement. So very nice that they include that with the light. The next thing that we see is a USB to USB-C. This is the charging cable, so we can charge the light. So very nice that it's USB-C. And what do we see here? We see a very simple, basic, thin holster. It's got a little enclosure here, plastic D-ring, Velcro enclosure. Says Thrunite on it, nothing too fancy, just a basic holster to get the job done. I'm sure that it'll do a good job protecting the light. Right here is the light itself. And this little tag here tells us to screw down the battery tube so everything's tight because it comes in manual lockout mode. We're going to take this battery tube off and we're going to look at the battery that's included with this light. We have a 21700 cell. This operates at 4,000 milliamp hour of capacity. As you can see, I'm very pleased to say that this is a standard cell. This is not a proprietary battery or anything like that. So that's a very nice thing that they did. Now the battery tube thickness is pretty heavy duty. I like that. And down inside the battery tube there's a spring down in there. This is not a magnetic battery tube. This is not magnetic. Now looking at the head of the light, you can see it's a nice solid contact point, very good construction. There's the button, you know, that's the side switch that does everything. And then on the flip side of that, you have this little charge port cover protecting the USB-C charging port. So very interesting. Just kind of pack that in and that'll give you the IPX8 waterproof rating. There's a look at the head of the light. So you're looking at the glass lens and there's a clear reflector there. And you can see that SST40.1 LED in there. So let's go ahead and put this all together. We're going to take the battery, putting the positive towards the head of the flashlight. And right here, you can see that little O-ring right there. When we tighten this down, the head of the light goes over that O-ring and that creates that IPX8 waterproof rating down to 2 meters. So it's a nice looking light. It's got a dual direction pocket clip. They did a really good job on that pocket clip and I like the retention. This light will tail stand, so very nice. And it also has a little hole right here, so if you wanted to attach a lanyard or paracord or anything like that, you can to that little hole right there. So very nice. Now let's go ahead and operate this light. We will push and hold the button, and you'll see that it comes on to the lowest mode available. This is Firefly. This is 0.44 lumens, and I'm blown away at the runtime, 133 days. Let's put that into months. That's 4.43 months of runtime that you get out of this light on Firefly. That is absolutely fantastic. That is what Firefly is supposed to be, in my opinion. It's supposed to be a super low setting that gives you just a little bit of light that lasts a long time. So I think they really delivered on that. If you push the button, the light will turn off. And then if you push the button again, it will turn on. Push and hold the button, you're going to see that it'll cycle. So it's an infinity high all the way to infinity low. So it's a ramping light. And as you can see, when it gets to the top of the spectrum or the bottom of the spectrum, the light will flash, letting you know that you've reached the limit, either the high or the low limit. Now, right now, we're looking at low. This is a nice little amount of light that's coming out of there. That's 37 lumens. And on this setting, it lasts 58 hours. That's 2.41 days, almost 2.5 days. Now, of course, if we start ramping up and we stop somewhere and we turn the light off, it does have a memory and it'll come right back to whatever setting we were on, with the exception of turbo or strobe. So let's go ahead and head back up all the way to high. Let's talk about high for a second. This is 1077 lumens, but the downside here is it only lasts 40 seconds before step down. After step down, we're going to go down to 605 lumens, and it'll stay there for about 3 hours of runtime. Now, if we want to get a little bit more light, we can double press, and we can get to turbo. Turbo is 2250 lumens. That is a lot of light coming out of this little flashlight. That'll last for 50 seconds, and then it'll step down to a little bit brighter than what the step down on high was. It'll step down to, instead of 605, it steps down to 621. It'll stay there for 170 minutes. Or 2.83 hours. So very cool. And then on this setting, you're getting a candela of 22,680. And this light produces 301 meters of throw on turbo. Now this light also offers a strobe function. So strobe warning, we're going to just triple press 1, 2, 3. And you'll see the strobe comes on. This is 610 lumens. And on this strobe, it'll last 5.5 hours. I think they did a fantastic job with the balance of brightness. The frequency does not change. It's the same frequency, but it's very disorienting strobe on this light. Single press turns the light off. And then another single press will bring us back to what we had before turbo or strobe, which in our case, we're on high here. So again, ramping, we just push and hold and stop anywhere. The light has a fantastic memory. It'll remember those things. I think it's really cool. Just going up and then going down. Very cool operation of this light. If you turn the light off and then you long press and you see Firefly come on, if you let off the button when you see Firefly and then you push and hold the button until Firefly disappears, you will put this light in lockout mode. Okay, so it does have a lockout. When you push that switch, nothing happens. To unlock the light, we're just going to push and hold until we see Firefly again. And now we can use the light as normal. This is a nice light. It's impact resistant down to 1.5 meters. This light is IPX8 waterproof, meaning it can go underwater down to 2 meters. So it's fantastic. The weight of the light, 77 grams. That weight is without the battery. The dimensions of the light, it's 115.5 millimeters long. It's 27.5 millimeters at the base and then 26 millimeters at the body. There is a power level indicator that you'll see here, and you can see that it's illuminated blue. Blue is telling us that our battery life is between 21 and 100%. Now, as the battery drops, this indicator will turn from blue to red. Red is telling us that our battery life is between 11 and 20%. And in the event that you see flashing red on this indicator, it's telling us that we're somewhere between 1 and 10% of our battery life left. Now, if you see this indicator go off, it's one of two things. Either our battery's dead or we are in Firefly mode. Okay, so we're in Firefly mode. We do not get a power level indicator. Now, when you charge this light, you'll plug in the USB-C. I've already done this off camera. It'll turn red when charging and blue when charging is complete. This indicator right here. Okay, folks, it's that time again. We're going to test the IPX8 waterproof rating of this light. So we're going to start with a little bit of water. I've got the light on Firefly mode. We're just going to drop it in the water. Make sure that the charge port cover is in place before getting this thing underwater. Otherwise, it could mess with our IPX8 waterproof rating. But as you can see, the light is clearly underwater. And now we'll take it out and we'll kind of run it through its paces. Turn the light off. Turn it on, push and hold, and we'll cycle through. Look at that, all the way to high. We'll double press for turbo here. 1, 2. Ooh, that is bright. 3 presses for strobe. So strobe warning. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't do it fast enough. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Single press turns it off, and a single press brings it back to high. Let's go ahead and ramp back down. Let's stop somewhere in there, and then we'll drop the light in the water once again. And as you can see, we turn the light off and back to Firefly mode. This light clearly passes the IPX8 waterproof testing with flying colors. Okay, right now we are looking at the Firefly mode. This is a very low amount of light, 0.44 lumens, and this will last over 4 months. That is fantastic. This is a good setting if you're looking for something. Maybe you want to read at night. You want to look in a bag. You don't want to wake up everybody in the camp. Maybe you're trying to look at a wound to see what's going on, find a splinter or something like that. This is a fantastic setting. I think they did a really good job on this setting. It provides a good amount of light for a budget light, you know, so to speak. When I say budget, I mean in the sense that it's going to last a long time. That is fantastic. If we turn the light off and we turn it back on, we will come on to low. This is infinity low. That's a good amount of light right there. I can see a lot, and if you look at the beam pattern, you'll see that it has a nice floody style beam. Again, this is 37 lumens and it'll last for 58 hours. That's 2.41 days, folks. That's a lot of light to get out of this little flashlight. I like the beam pattern. And then again, we're going to push and hold and it's just going to cycle up. We could stop anywhere. We're going to go ahead and go on all the way up. See, it acknowledges at the bottom, and then we're going to climb all the way up to the top and we'll wait for that acknowledgement flash. We are now on high. This is 1077 lumens. 40 seconds until it steps down to 605 lumens for 180 minutes or 3 hours. If we want to double press, we'll get to that turbo. 1, 2. You can see 2250 lumens for 50 seconds. Then it steps down to 621, for 170 minutes or 2.83 hours. That is a lot of light to get out of this little flashlight. You can see the blue power level indicator telling us that our battery is good to go. And if we want to triple press, I got to give you guys a strobe warning here. So here comes the strobe. 1, 2, 3. This is 610 lumens for 5.5 hours. Very disorienting strobe there. So in the event that you're getting attacked or something like that, it's just a quick access triple press and you get to strobe. Single press turns the light off. Another single press will bring us to high because that was the last mode accessed before turbo or strobe. And then again, we push and hold. We're going to just ramp down, and we can stop anywhere in the spectrum. And this is a nice little light. I hope that you guys enjoyed those night shots. So my final thoughts on this Thrunite T3, I like this light. There is a couple things that I would like to see them do. One of them is if they could make this tail cap magnetic, that would be fantastic. Another thing that I noticed is this does not memorize moonlight mode or firefly mode. So right now I'm on firefly. If I turn it off and I turn the light back on, it does not remember firefly. It remembers low or whatever you were on that spectrum between low and high. So if they could put a firefly memory on here, that would be fantastic. Sometimes when a person turns a light on, they don't want it to go to like a bright setting. And even though low is only 37 lumens, that might be more than a person wants when they start up the light. Now, I'm not complaining about the light. I think the build quality of it, in the construction of it, the design of it is absolutely fantastic. I've never been a fan of charging on the light. That's just like probably one of my flashlight pet peeves, but they are getting better at it, and the little charge port cover seems to do a good job. I wish they would get away from that and just let people charge their lights, their batteries with battery chargers. I think they don't do that though, because they don't want this O-ring to be compromised every time you need to charge the battery. They're trying to make it simple. That's why I like what Olight's doing with their magnetic charging. It's just fantastic. You don't have to compromise the O-ring, and you can charge the light, and you can put it underwater and stuff like that. So, but this is a fantastic light. I want to say thank you to Thrunite for sending this light out for review. I really like this light. I want to say thank you guys for joining me today on this video. If you're interested in this light, I will put a link in the description box down below. Please feel free to leave comments down below. Like this video if you would, please. Share this video, and until next time, thanks again for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.